Indeed, good.
Dylan has time to show.
I hope that, Dan Tudor is not on this reporting of the ineptitude of the new chairman.
Well, keep it, keep it.
Well, it is 5:30.
Okay. All right,
Alright.
then, 10-9-8-7-6.
Alright.
All right. We have a quorum. Can we have a motion to accept the minutes?
Motion to accept the minutes.
Can we have a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. The motion is carried. All right. Number 3 is visitors' comments. And we seem to have some visitors. Would any of them like to make a comment here? John King has been recognized.
Thanks. I appreciate that before you change the agenda. I just wanted to come and give you folks an update on where we are with the ferry ticket program.
Yep.
We started on the 15th, thanks to the generous donation that we received of $25,000. On the 12th, just before we started, Brian, who's been very helpful. I was in touch with the ferry service. Brian was very helpful. The ferry service has been great. They're printing the tickets at Brindle Point for us. And on the 12th, we bought almost $25,000 worth of tickets. Primarily vehicle tickets, 350, 375 adult, and 300 minor tickets. That was kind of just throwing a dart at the wall to try to come up with the right numbers. The sales have been good. The month just closed out. We have sold 554 vehicle tickets, 370 adult walk-on tickets, and only 35 minor tickets. So we have replenished with that income that has been coming in from those sales. Brian has purchased about another close to $20,000 worth of tickets.
So we're at 45 now or something like that?
Totally, we've spent $43,550, and we have $20,500 in revenue. So at the end of the month, the net that we had was $22,962.50, which actually is very close to the donation amount.
Right.
So that's good, and we're sitting on tickets, and now we're getting, as of July 1, we'll have the warrant money as well. Tina and Dave have been great in the office. Most people seem to understand the program, but there's a learning curve for some. But the feedback's been very positive, and what I intend to do, once we get almost halfway, is to try to do a demographic study of what we've really got in terms of households, which will help us with budgeting purposes. But anyway, so far so good. It's a report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
I'm happy with that. But if you have any questions,
John, did you say how much money you brought in so far? I just missed that detail.
the total revenue is $20,887.50.
Thank you.
Any other visitors' comments? All right, moving on to the
Thank you.
vacant.
I have no other comments.
I'd really like you to sit.
I know.
I understand.
I have a lot to do
Thank you,
there.
John. We're trying to move ahead. I understand from Peter, sorry. There is no update on the ferry service, by the way, except for you all got the email with the emergency service is gonna be suspended for the 4 days or something like that.
First and second.
All right, sea level rise, there is no update on that I know about. I have not heard from the chairman. update on the Up Island Public Safety Garage.
Going well, actually, I was up there on Monday, the electricians are there, they are building out the rest of the electrical this week and next, they hope to have it all done by the end of next week. That's internal to the facility, not necessarily hook up with CMP, I don't know where that's at today, but they're gonna be finishing that up next week is their goal. So. Had a conversation with them on Monday. They seem very, very good, you know. Good guys. Yeah, confident, I guess, sorry. Search it that way. Done, that's my update.
Any other comments, Mark? No? All right, update on public safety renovations.
I guess I went in, not last week. And went through and Ron was working additionally, but maybe one of the two individuals who were did they hang the cabinets or anything yet?
No, nothing's ready for cabinet. They shuffled them around just for workability. They did frame up the little room next to the EOC radio room. That's started to be studied. I got word that nothing will happen this week because of the holiday coming. And they hope to return next week. And if the same program is damp weather brings them here, the long forecast looks pretty dry for a while. But nothing fresh, you know.
Yeah, but they were framing on a sunny day, so, you know, you never know, but yes. Anyway,
Any other comments about the regular agenda here? All right, upcoming planning board meeting and subcommittee reports. Is there anybody here who needs to make a comment about the planning board or committee, subcommittee reports?
I can let you know that there was also a sea level rise meeting on July 9th. Energy committee on the 14th, municipal building project committee on the 16th.
All right. Duly noted.
what's the 16th? What was the 16th?
Municipal building project committee, that's you.
Lauren just sent out an agenda and
Yeah, 5:30,
kind of like a wrap up,
yeah,
hopefully.
yeah, we're trying to wrap that committee up.
It sounds like it's time. Not that we don't like your reports.
Kills everybody,
5 years later.
yeah.
All right, and Madam Manager, do you have something to tell us about this evening?
Probably. I've given you the April 16th minutes from the Harbor Committee. May 28th Lighthouse Committee minutes. Under correspondence, I've carried this from last week. It's from that green piece of paper on the clipboard up there. James Kosich, the Northport Administrator, is asking the select board to vote for him to continue on the Maine Municipal Association's Legislative Policy Committee. So if we do that tonight, the story of it would be nice. And I can send it to him, he can submit it. And there's two other names that you could choose, or you can just vote for him. I did mark him up, but I want to make sure he gets marked.
All right, is there some reason why he is preferable over the other?
Well, he's the one that asked us to sign it for him.
I see.
The other two haven't asked for any assistance, so I don't have any information about the other two.
Does anybody know anything else?
He's been doing this for a couple of years now. His wife used to work at our school.
Right.
He was the two of them were sort of our inside line in this Waldo County budget process. They were the ones, they spoke on our behalf a couple times or asked questions from members that we weren't able to be, so. I think he's showing that he's dedicated to it and goes to bat for us and asks things on our behalf, so.
Yeah.
I call him a good fit, but.
I had said to Janet that I wanted to make sure they weren't gonna come back with another 30% increase in the budget.
Well, no
But
guarantee.
She told me he's not even on this.
He's good for asking questions.
All right.
Right.
I
Yeah.
hope so.
He's on our way in.
All right, I've given you the outline that Fred Porter submitted. I know you mentioned, Steve, I think about him presenting something about the training that they did over, it was on increased bicycle traffic on Islesboro, it's on West Bay and Main Road back in May, but he submitted the packet for that, his training packet.
Yeah,
Um,
one thing I said as I went by it, it was very, very thorough.
I said everybody, people were impressed, so.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it didn't bring him right in here to. Yeah, but anyway, we've sent out, there was a burn up a week ago, 10 days ago, on some household construction demo debris on a private residence. And since then, we've sent out, project, enlighten people on what to burn, what not to burn, household trash. If you have debris, you should get a website to put it in, not burn it in the yard. It caused a lot of consternation for a lot of people. And I did forward it on to the DEP and the Maine Forest Service. We're looking into it, so. I responded to people who sent me a letter, in case anybody says, I did respond to them. And I said, if I hear anything back, I kind of waited a week to see if I was gonna hear anything back. I haven't heard anything, so. That's, I just wanted to let you know, we're addressing it.
Good, great.
yeah, that was on Facebook. That was,
I did not see that, but people told me about.
yeah, it was
Anything else?
inappropriate.
Yeah. No, I think that's all for me. If you have a question.
Thank you. On to the old business, and I would just like to say, I, for one, I defer to Dylan or others on this board if they have more experience than I have, which is near zero. What excavating equipment or pre-trimming equipment the town ought to buy. It seems to me we have devoted a disproportionate amount of time to this discussion. And it seems to me we have extensive expertise on the part of the electorate here in the relative merits of different kinds of equipment. And I hope that we can come into a decision about what to buy with due dispatch without another protracted discussion.
Well, I'll just,
So,
go ahead, you go first.
no, I was just curious what the conclusion, well, what are we looking for tonight then?
I have
Are
asked
we gonna continue,
Dave,
these guys are here.
yeah, and Jordy, I was on vacation all that
Yeah.
time, so I was waiting for him to come back and talk, to talk, and I don't see. I don't know if Julie's on the website, but you all have her letter
Yes.
from the 17th of June, so I just wanted to make sure that we address this, and I wanted to hear from Jordy what he's gonna use it for. And Dave has spoken to, who'd you speak to?
Peter Coombs, who does quite a bit of work for us on roads and roadside work, ditching and things like that, so he knows his equipment. I spoke with Trevor Dakers quite a while back. Trevor was actually gonna do some of the work for us on West Shore Drive at one point, but for some reason he backed out. I don't really know why, but he did. And that's when Dustin Reed ended up doing the 2 miles of West Shore Drive. But anyway, I talked to Trevor Dakers and basically asked them if you were gonna go out and buy a piece of equipment for what we were looking to use it for, what would you buy? And their consensus was one of those little mini excavators would suit the town just fine because it had the attachments that could use to do some roadside trimming. Certainly, we're not gonna be able to do the real tall stuff, whether we have to contract that out if we needed something like that, but basic maintenance and stuff like that, we can be a lot more ahead of the game than what we had been. I know 2 years ago, roadside trimming was quite a hot button item. And I imagine it still is. Well, we don't hear as much about it now as we would. It was recommended to me anyway while we were searching, and I asked these guys too, you know, what kind of equipment do you need? Would make it easier for you to do this job, and they recommended an excavator as well.
I see you nodding your head, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we went with when we proposed the purchase of this excavator, the recommendations of public works employees and other folks that have worked for the town in the past, so. It wasn't an uninformed decision.
Yeah, I mean, I just, it roots back to we got money to buy a tractor, not an excavator, is part of my issue with it. I also would be curious, like, are there other things that we contract out, such as roadside mowing, that your excavator could help us with? Because I would argue that we could probably do that better with a tractor with excavating attachments. So I'm curious why that,
Each machine is going to offer its own source. I mean, honestly, if you're asking my honest opinion, I don't want a machine. I don't want either one. And the reason is because I'm gonna either be spending too much time in the machine, or I'm not spending enough time in the machine, or I'm gonna be doing a task that was asked of me, and somebody in town's gonna say, no, they should be over here doing this, or they should be over here doing that. It's just, no matter what we do, it's not gonna be okay, and it's not gonna be right. So it's gonna have to be based on what does the town want us to do? Do they want us to do something about the roadside? We can do such with this mulcher. Matter of fact, Northport did a bunch on their roads. Much bigger machine. No matter how you look at this, the roadside cutting is gonna cost money. It's gonna cost people. It's gonna have to be more than 2 people to do it. Now, with an excavator, we can do some of the smaller ditching if necessary. Peter's more apt at that, but if we had emergency situations, Peter can't do it, we had to unclog something, we could do that. We can break down the demo bins and take a full one and make it 2/3 of one, which is gonna save this town a lot of money in the long run. There are various tasks an excavator can do. Now, a loader with a backhoe on it can do some tasks as well. It cannot do the grinding on the side of the road. It just can't. It does not have an attachment. We've talked to equipment sales reps, and there's not an attachment that you can get. It's going to do that. Also, if we were to use a backhoe, granted, you can spin the backhoe some, but if we were to use a backhoe on the side of the road, we would still have to block a lane to do that. And in some parts of this, depending on the size of the tractor as well, could be 3/4 of the road. We still only have one operator, one person for traffic control. So these are all things to consider about what you decide to do.
so basically, what we're fighting now effectively is that even if we bought this, you guys don't want it. It's gonna be too hard for you to use.
That's
And
not what I said.
and if we push you on that, you're gonna take away from some other job. Correct, right? Which, okay. Just seemed like that was
So,
right.
I wanted everybody to be aware that the more tasks that continue to go on to Public Works with 2 people is less tasks that actually can be accomplished because there is a larger list. So all I'm doing is laying out, this is what we're facing, depending on which direction you decide to go. This is why I'm saying it makes no difference to me what you decide to do as far as buying a piece of equipment, because no matter what,
your decision's gonna be wrong as a select board, and what I do with it is gonna end up being problematic to somebody, somewhere. So we basically have to go, you guys have to make a decision, it's not up to me, I'm just here.
Well, I'm
bringing
gonna
information.
jump in here. We were responsible for getting the budget together. We got money appropriated for a piece of equipment. I proposed this was to go after the number one thing that we kept hearing about. Cutting back, you know, the trees from wrecking, you know, trucks and equipment. All right, so we voted, so we put that in, the community voted on it. This is not our responsibility any longer. I don't know why it keeps coming back to this group. It's the town manager's responsibility now to execute on that thing. I don't wanna keep talking about this. So, you know, if they called it a tractor and I wasn't there that day, you know, and stuff, then, you know, that's unfortunate, but everybody here Pete, I think you would, and three of us would agree.
Yeah.
I was pretty clear on what I wanted to have in there.
The plan has always been for next year.
Yeah, so anyway, I just wanna stop this conversation. I mean, well, you know, you can certainly talk more about it, but it's not our responsibility any longer. It's the town manager. And people can come to the town office and do the same type of communication that's been happening. You wanna,
Please.
Yeah, I just, I wanna know where this tractor thing came from, because I was there at the town meeting, I was doing the ballot box.
Yeah.
What happened, was the Article 33 came up. Paige, the moderator, said, does anyone have any questions or comments? Silence. We moved it to a vote at the town.
Mhm.
All in favor? People said aye. All opposed? Again, silence. No one was opposed to this Article 33 passing.
There were questions asked.
Hold on. Then, after it had already passed, Julie Reedy
Mhm.
stood up and said, hey, I want to talk about this. Paige said, well, it's already been passed, but I guess we can talk about it.
Mhm.
So I don't see where the issue was with it being called a tractor, because that only came up after the town had already agreed to buy the piece of equipment.
Because that was the way it was described when the article came up.
But it wasn't
It said one thing on paper
It
and
talked
it said
about
one thing
after it
else.
was already passed and voted on, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so the select board approved this expenditure for a piece of equipment.
Yes,
The town, at the town meeting, passed it.
yes.
Frankly, I think if now the town manager or anybody else feels that this decision should be revisited, or fine, that's up to you. And it's up to all of you to give Janet whatever advice you'd like to. As far as I'm concerned, I'm with Steve. This is a done deal as far as we're concerned. Okay?
Oh, that's what we needed.
All right.
does anybody else?
I just, so Trevor's pretty much not available to do the forestry mulching. For
Well,
whatever.
we asked him to put a bid on West Shore Drive,
Yeah,
and he did. And then 2 days before he was supposed to start, he said, no, I'm not gonna do that.
okay. I mean,
No real reason why, just.
right, and the people I've talked to have indicated that this forestry mulcher attachment is the correct thing for this job. And it seems like nobody, I mean, Trevor's the only person I know probably.
He's got a big one.
Right, so I mean, I support the purchase of this
Great.
equipment. I understand that there was some confusion at the ballot box and the pros of a tractor, but I have talked to people about this specific job, and a forestry mulcher is an appropriate piece of equipment for this job. As far as I'm talked to a couple people.
So,
There's anyone up there?
okay. But just going fine. I don't see we're changing anything here.
No, he was just adding his comment.
Okay.
Carrie, is there we need to,
Yeah, that was just a comment.
Okay, fine,
In support of the person.
thank you. All right, didn't you already discuss the transfer station solid waste increases, or
No.
we haven't
No,
discussed it?
no, so you have those
We do.
in your packet. Yeah, Brian, I went over it with Brian and we agreed on a
So we're done.
50% increase. These prices.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Thanks. So they're in your packet. One's for individual pricing
Yes,
and one is for the demo brief.
so is there something we have to do about that?
You just have to, if you approve them, agree, and then, I send them to Jeff and then they become, and we'll send them out.
Anybody here amongst the select board have any comments or additions or subtractions? or
I have a
anything like that?
question.
Please.
But yeah, this to me is all the bin usage. Is there a change on the cost of the individual bags, you know,
No.
get the, okay, so this is just for the bins.
Just for,
Yeah,
and I thought Brian was on, but he doesn't, I mean, it's nothing that he has to say about it, but, we would just like to pull in some more revenue, of course, as we, did increase these fees 3 years ago. When Melissa was here, we increased them. But it's going up so much.
Absolutely.
so how, does this, that's an interesting point, does this reflect an increase that we've been given from the companies? From the cost of, you know,
Well, no, not total. I mean, we'd probably have to put them up 100% to make any dent in that.
oh,
Yeah, this is not.
well, this is a money loser for us. Okay,
And that's why I hoped people would get, contractors especially, would get their own demo bin, as John Alquist has some, and then they could fill up those and not take it to us.
So is there a mechanism for actually requiring that?
For requiring a demo bin?
That individual contractors have to provide their own demolition and removal?
I don't think so in the planning board. I mean, it would be, I think it's, I think during the planning board session, we advise people if they know what they're building to acquire.
Oh.
Acquire one.
I don't feel,
It's similar, they're, or they don't have a program, they don't allow contractors to trash into their public transfer station. I feel like I've heard this in conversation in the past about towns.
I don't
Who
know.
don't allow for contract construction debris. We talked about this fast.
Yeah.
And I don't remember exactly what town it was referenced, but they did specifically were talking about construction debris. I don't think
this is losing money, and it seems to me the individual contractors working for whoever they're working for ought to at least be a wash.
well, and why would anybody get a dumpster
If they didn't have
dumped
to.
off if we're half the price? let's
Right.
say?
So can we discuss this with the planning board and find out whether we have a ordinance or anything else that requires?
There's nothing in the ordinance, but I will ask Dave
Okay,
about this.
I definitely think that. And on a similar subject, which is not extreme, specifically about the fees, have we explored recycling anything? And can we do anything about increasing the incentive to recycle? I mean, I talked to a group of people on the mainland who were willing to work with us on recycling, and I asked Sky and I asked Greg and I asked others whether we're doing anything about this, and the answer was it's too heavy a lift and we don't have the capability to do that. But it seems to me, in light of, this is my own personal opinion, that we ought to be, if not aggressively, we be inquisitively looking into ways in which we can recycle, you know, recyclable material. And as far as I know, the only recycling that goes on is the paper and cardboard recycling bin at the transfer station. But there's no
yeah,
composting or anything else.
no, I know, Peter, did you say Peter Wilcox, he was
Yeah, I think we
interested
have.
in that, getting a
Yes.
big. And that was gonna be at school, and it was gonna be someplace else, but
Well, I would like to or initiate a new discussion on this subject, and I will speak to Peter and others if anybody else has any input.
Okay, so we have to, and is the thing, we need to approve this?
yeah, you all are the ones that make the
Alright,
pricing
So,
adjustment.
did we have a motion to approve the,
Yeah, but just ask a clarifying question. Have we stopped with our single sort recycling program?
No?
Okay.
No,
So
no,
we do have recycling for more than,
well, we have, yeah,
okay. I just want, but just to make sure that I haven't been doing something off the bat to you. So it's not. Well, the motion to approve the new fee schedule.
anything, Mark, do you have a comment?
On the discussion about, dumpsters and the planning board connection. I don't know if we have it in place or not, but what I would encourage the planning board do. Any large new construction or major renovation. That job site gets their own dumpster. It should be kind of automatic.
Absolutely.
Because it relieves the burden of the transfer station. And the job, mostly large enough job, the dumpster will be part of the fee.
Sure. So,
Same with a roof.
could you just tell me the appropriate way to pursue that suggestion, which I heartily support, is through the planning board?
Well,
I mean, we have to have
yeah.
some sort of ordinance that requires that.
well,
Karen may know
that's
something.
probably what will have to happen for the planning board to act on it.
Okay. Aaron?
I don't think there's a specific ordinance, but the planning board does encourage contractors to have their own demo bins. It's in the permit application.
And what do you mean by encourage?
Well, it's written in the permit application that we would like contractors to do that. It
Well,
doesn't really have a lot of teeth, but it,
I think it ought to have to be myself.
Well, that we can look into.
Okay.
alright, so. We
So I
have a
have
motion,
motions to approve this.
All right, a second? Second. Any further discussion?
No.
In favor? Unanimous.
I would say, why don't we? I would like to come back to this though, I mean, I agree, it's, we ought to look at what the application says. And,
Yeah,
you know, because,
Is the planning board the only people that can approve a change to that?
you know,
Maybe in the land use, but that's, and it might, I mean, I'd have to talk to the attorney, maybe it doesn't have to be an ordinance, I don't know how you can make them. Follow through on this, you know, what kind of, like you say, what kind of teeth that would go in there to make sure.
well, the application
You
is, you
get
look
a-
at an application,
you
you
don't
don't
get
get
a building
approved unless,
permit.
yeah, unless you know, you agree to have your own dumpster, yeah.
but if it's not in the ordinance,
Right.
then you can't really enforce
Who's
that.
gonna enforce it?
So
Sarah, you gonna go check up on the?
would that be our
So-
code enforcement officer perhaps?
well, I think,
Yeah.
With doing that?
right, but
So-
in addition,
Yeah.
anybody who shows up at the transfer station with construction debris has to.
Give them a third degree.
Exactly.
Where'd this come?
Well, you know, I think they've been fairly clear on what you can leave there and what you can't, and nobody has we're not having a revolution up there.
Yeah, well, I'll talk with Dave about that and Ethan will look at the permit and see what it says specifically.
Item number 3, I defer to Mr. Anderson here, but in the past, we've had a discussion at the select board meeting of volunteers on the select board to act as ex officio members of the committees that are listed on your sheet there. And I will just say that I'm hopeful anyway that Holly will, since she's already on the Energy Committee, will become our representative, since I know nothing about
On which one?
on the Energy Committee. And I am volunteering to stay on the Housing Committee. And the economic sustainability, I was told by the chairman, I am not ex officio, I'm a member of the committee, a regular voting member of the committee when it was, and I know nothing about that, but that's fine with me. But then we have, I don't know how the rest of you feel about the committees you're on and whether the Shay has agreed to stay on the sea level rise committee.
Yeah.
She has. And all of the members of the Sea Level Rise Committee have agreed to continue to serve. So I think that's off the list.
What about the Harbor Committee? It's not on here.
Exactly.
It's not an ex officio position.
Oh,
Which, yeah, I know. I was surprised too.
I thought you were
I do too.
I thought you were our Harbor Water guy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Steve, are you comfortable staying on the pesticide?
Well, yeah, I've spent a lot of time on it. If that's my type of committee.
Right.
Um,
And the municipal broadband?
broadband, yeah, I'm actually involved with that, so that works.
So we have openings now with the Lighthouse.
I'll do
Museum.
recreation,
Okay, great.
unless,
And somebody else?
No, I'll do Lighthouse,
Okay,
Oh, nice.
great.
cause I'm right there.
we got Dylan, well, that's true.
And we need a cemetery person. Is
Not in
anybody,
the cemetery.
anybody feeling ill?
Am I supposed to volunteer?
Yes, you are.
They don't meet very often, do they?
No.
All right.
The main issue with the cemetery, which I was surprised about, is that, when there are cemeteries on private property, there's an issue about maintaining the cemetery or getting access and.
Yeah, Cindy's very aggressive about trying to make
Fine.
sure that people do take care or let someone come in and take
I
care.
will,
Who's the rest?
Cindy Gorham is the chair of the cemetery committee.
Okay.
She kind of go from.
are there any other committees that are not on this list that
I don't think so.
consider?
Pete, you want to stay on the library trustee? I didn't hear you say anything.
Yeah, that's our turn.
Because he's to read.
Groundwater, anybody interested? They rarely meet. That helps.
I'll do that.
Holly?
Terrific, thank you.
Yeah, that's good, Holly. Thank you.
All right, so we've got
the-
everybody.
I'm worried about it.
What, honey?
I'm worried about our groundwater.
Yeah. No, I think that's
Yeah.
probably needs, with more construction, consuming more water, we gotta.
All the pools.
Oh,
What?
pools.
Pools.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, remember like 10 years ago when that well dried up?
I don't, but. Sure.
Yeah.
Any new business that is before the select board? Other business?
I sent you guys, I don't know if this is the correct time.
What is the correct time, I will say, is that various people just got this. So we will put this on the agenda for the next meeting.
Well, that's what yeah, I wasn't thinking right now.
Yes,
I was just saying, check your inboxes.
fine. I think it was late for this meeting.
Oh, it was totally late. I wasn't,
You all have a copy, he's put
I'll
of
look
this,
for it
and we
later.
will discuss this.
yeah, Not this meeting.
Okay,
All right,
okay, we have two warrants. We're finished with the other business. Two warrants. Janet, do you wanna just tell us what about these?
You have them right in front of you.
Yes.
There's warrant number 27 for this, FY 26.
Okay,
And then there's warrant number 1 for FY 27. It's confusing because it's 20 laws, 27s in there. And
okay, so this has to do with the town payables, the health center, Dark Harbor wastewater.
yeah, all our bills.
Okay,
And it's right on the green, folders up ahead of you
yes. Is there anybody?
and clipboard with them for.
Motion to approve the warrant.
Fine.
Okay, and we have a motion to approve for warrant number 27. Do we have a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All righty, so we will pass that around. We have warrant number 26.
Motion to approve.
Second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
all right.
The motion is carried. So we can get to the page. All right, what else? Appointments? We don't have any appointments. do we?
Next time, I think we'll start with.
Okay, we do not need to appoint these committee members at all. That's not it.
No, thank you.
Okay. The chair comments, I will just say. We have this presentation of the affordable housing program at a forum on August the 9th. If anybody would like to participate or have any input to that. So far it's Ned Preslow and Michael Nelson and myself speaking, but I would appreciate it if anybody else wants to come. The only other thing I will say is I am very intent on completing the parking along Ferry Road. I talked to Janet about that earlier today. I think it's time to get the job done. And I hope that in the paving contract that is being defined at the moment, it will include at least the paving along Ferry Road. I will say, in addition, the issue that has been raised on multiple occasions is what happens when line 3 is loaded and there are people parking along the guardrail who can't get out. I, for one, have looked at this in some detail. I don't see an easy solution, except that we are going to strike the,
They did.
we have, and we are going to mark line 3 on the adjoining. I mean, you, Holly, have any
Well,
ideas?
Well, they're all number threes in the lane.
Yeah,
So if we just, stencil over them,
right.
and Jordy and Tom put hash marks at the end of parking. So it's kind of obvious, but our signs keep missing.
Yeah. Are they your signs or are they ours?
I don't know.
I don't think I
Which,
need up their
The-
signs.
The sign for, no parking in line 3. We had one at the end of the guardrail
mhm,
and it went missing.
mhm.
And then we have another one in the center of the guardrail, which is so low that you can't see it. There's a truck parked in front of it.
Mhm.
Um,
The sign should be permanent adjusted.
yeah, so the pole needs to be taller. And, there are hash marks at the back of the parking and that's against the guardrail. Tom put those in the other day.
The select board already approved the draft plan for the parking and approved a fee of $300 for the high season for parking there. For one, I don't understand why it should be any different from the parking fee in Lincolnville, but Fay was insistent on it being $300, fine.
Are we on the
We're on other business segment.
selectmen's comment?
Chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was. Okay, I have no other comments, if anybody else. Select board comments, individual, for me. Anybody else?
I just wanna say that, I think that we need to look at lane 3 as being a real traffic hazard. Especially in the morning, so the sooner we get those lines painted, the better.
The yellow line.
Yeah,
Yeah, because Jordy was waiting for, I think Viking was bringing over yellow paint.
okay.
Well, if there are any other suggestions that anybody has,
Just the sign.
the obvious solution to the
Yeah.
problem ultimately is just to eliminate the guardrail parking entirely and remove the guardrail.
No, I
You
actually,
can't
the
park
real
it.
solution is put the parking on the other railing and redo the traffic lines, because then you would have, but anyway, let's adjourn.
All right, anything else anybody would like to say? Could we have a motion then to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor?
Have a good
All right,
45 minutes.
45 minutes.